Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving deep into one of America's most iconic and beautifully designed coins, the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter Dollar. Don't let its everyday look fool you. This little piece of metal could be worth a small fortune. Stick with us, because what seems like a common coin might just surprise you. Let's begin by setting the stage. The year is 2001. The United States Mint is in the middle of its wildly popular 50 state quarters program, honoring each state with a unique quarter design. Kentucky's turn came as the 15th release in this series, and it did not disappoint. The Kentucky State Quarter pays tribute to the rich traditions of the bluegrass state, known for horse racing, historic farms, and beautiful landscapes. Now picture this. On one side of the coin, you have George Washington's iconic profile, the familiar face we all know from every standard quarter. But flip it over, and the real magic begins. The reverse side of the Kentucky Quarter features Federal Hill, the historic mansion that inspired the song My Old Kentucky Home. In front of this elegant building stands a split-rail fence, and beyond it, a majestic thoroughbred horse. It's not just a coin, it's a story, a tribute to Kentucky's soul, captured in metal. But here's where things start to get really exciting for collectors and investors alike. While millions of these quarters were minted for general circulation, only a very small number carry the characteristics that make them truly rare and incredibly valuable. These are not just pocket change, they are treasures. What makes some 2001 Kentucky quarters so special? Let's talk about rarity and minting errors, the two golden pillars of coin collecting. First, rarity. Even though over 700 million Kentucky quarters were produced, only a handful are found in pristine, uncirculated, or proof condition. But beyond that, there are a few extremely rare variants that include errors, accidental flaws that occurred during the minting process. These errors can turn an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Some of the most sought-after errors in the 2001 Kentucky Quarter include off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, making part of the image or lettering slide off the coin's edge. There are also double-die errors, where images or inscriptions appear doubled, especially noticeable in the words E pluribus unum or in the intricate lines of the horse or the fence. These doubling effects give the coin a unique appearance, often missed by the untrained eye but priceless to a collector. Another rare variation is the clad layer missing error, where the outer nickel layer is absent on one side of the coin, exposing the copper core underneath. These types of errors are incredibly hard to find and are often discovered by sharp-eyed collectors or professional appraisers. Then there are the proof versions, specially made coins with mirror-like surfaces and sharper details, intended for collectors. If you have a 2001 Kentucky State Quarter in proof condition, especially one that was minted in San Francisco with the S mint mark, you could be holding something far more valuable than your average coin. But here's where it gets even more thrilling. If your 2001 Kentucky Quarter combines one of these rare minting errors and is in nearly perfect condition, it's not just a collector's item, it's a potential goldmine. Collectors across the country have been paying attention to these rare variants, and the demand keeps growing. Coin shows, online auctions, and private dealers are always on the lookout for one of these unicorns of the coin world. With coin collecting booming in popularity and rarity always in fashion, prices for these types of error coins have skyrocketed. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare 2001 Kentucky State Quarters, especially one with a documented minting error and in top-grade condition, it could be worth as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right. $80,000 for one small quarter that might be hiding in an old jar, tucked away in a drawer, or stuck between couch cushions. It's the kind of discovery that changes everything. What are you waiting for? Go dig through that coin collection, check your change, and take a second look at those state quarters. You never know, you might just be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. Top 2, we're about to dive into the story of a small, ordinary-looking coin that might just be one of the most valuable finds in your pocket change. That's right, this tiny piece of metal could be hiding a huge secret. We're talking about none other than the 2000 Maryland State Quarter Dollar, a coin that's not only rich in historical meaning, but also holds the potential to be worth a jaw-dropping sum, if you know what to look for. Now, Don't be fooled by how common this coin might seem at first glance. The Maryland State Quarter was released in the year 2000 as part of the United States Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program. This program ran from 1999 to 2008 and changed the face of coin collecting forever. Each quarter in the series was designed to celebrate the unique culture, landmarks, and spirit of one of the 50 states. And when it was Maryland's turn, the design did not disappoint. Flip the coin over, and you'll see a beautiful depiction of the Maryland State House in Annapolis, the oldest state capitol still in legislative use today. Framing the building are clusters of white oak leaves, a nod to the state tree of Maryland, the majestic white oak. The words, "The Old Line State," curve proudly along the top, honoring Maryland's nickname and its brave Revolutionary War soldiers who stood as the Old Line against British forces. But this isn't just about beauty. It's about rarity. It's about mystery. And it's about uncovering something truly special hidden in plain sight. You see, millions of these coins were minted in the year 2000. In fact, over 1.2 billion Maryland quarters were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But among those billions, a precious few carry errors, tiny mistakes made during production that make these coins extremely rare and incredibly valuable today. Let's talk about those errors. Because this is where things get really interesting. Point one of the most famous and highly sought-after errors in the 2000 Maryland quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned in the press during minting, causing part of the design to be shifted off to one side. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the date and design elements, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another stunning variety includes double-die errors. In these rare cases, certain parts of the coin, such as the lettering or the intricate oak leaves, appear to have a shadow or double image. This is due to a misalignment in the minting process where the die imprints the design twice. To collectors, these errors are not flaws, they're treasures, representing a moment when precision slipped just slightly, creating something unique and irreplaceable. Then there are clad layer errors, where part of the coin's outer layer is missing, revealing the copper core underneath. This type of error gives the coin a distinct, eye-catching appearance. You might think the coin is damaged, but to a trained eye, it's a rare and valuable mistake from the mint itself. And don't forget about proof coins, which were specially minted for collectors and never intended for circulation. These coins have mirror-like backgrounds, frosted details, and stunning contrast. A proof 2000 Maryland quarter with a minting error? Now that is the holy grail for collectors. So, how do you know if you've got a valuable one in your hands? First, check the condition. Coins in uncirculated condition, especially those that have never been handled, are far more valuable than ones that have been tossed around in pockets and change jars. Next, look for any unusual markings, doubling, missing elements, or off-center designs. These are the indicators that what you're holding might be far more than just 25 cents. Now here's the part you've been waiting for, the value. If you're lucky enough to find a 2000 Maryland State Quarter that includes a rare minting error, is in near-perfect condition, and has been authenticated by a grading service, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, collectors have placed such a high value on these rare error coins that one example has been known to sell for as much as $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for one small quarter. A coin you might pass by every day could actually be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or even a full year's salary. That's the magic of coin collecting. That's the thrill that keeps collectors searching, digging through rolls of quarters, flipping through old coin albums, and checking every bit of change they receive at the grocery store. Because once in a while, just once, you might come across the rare gem that changes everything. So go check your change. Dig through that old jar of coins. Pull out the shoebox from under the bed. The 2000 Maryland quarter you've been overlooking might just be your ticket to an unbelievable payday. Top 3, we're diving into the world of a seemingly modern and ordinary coin, but one that could hold extraordinary value. It's time to shine a light on the 2015 Homestead National Monument of America Quarter, a coin that represents Nebraska's pioneering history and, for a lucky few, could be worth far more than its face value. Now, we get it. You're probably thinking, wait, a quarter from 2015? That's too recent to be rare, right? Well, not exactly. Because hidden among the millions of these coins in circulation are rare versions with specific characteristics that make them incredibly desirable to collectors. Yes, it's modern. Yes, it's still being spent at vending machines and laundromats. And yet, If you find the right one, it could change everything. So let's rewind a bit and understand what makes this coin so important in the first place. The Homestead Quarter was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series launched by the United States Mint in 2010 to celebrate national parks, monuments, and historic sites across the country. The 2015 Homestead Quarter was the first release of that year, honoring Nebraska's Homestead National Monument of America, which commemorates the Homestead Act of 1862, one of the most important land distribution laws in U.S. history. Now, take a closer look at the design. On the reverse side, you'll see a humble log cabin, symbolizing the home many settlers built from scratch. To the left and right of the cabin are two hands pumping water, representing survival and self-reliance. And in front, a simple bucket sits at the base of the pump. Above it all, the word homestead is etched proudly into the metal. It's a powerful image, celebrating the strength, struggle, and independence of early American pioneers. But here's where things get really exciting. While this coin was widely circulated, with hundreds of millions produced at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, there's a small subset of these coins that are unlike the rest. And it's these rare versions that have collectors going wild. Let's talk about errors and die varieties. The secret ingredients that turn an ordinary quarter into a coin worth thousands. One of the most famous errors tied to the 2015 Homestead Quarter is known as the extra water pump handle variety. In this error, an additional line appears near the pump, making it look like there's a third handle. This is caused by a die clash or die chip, where the die used to strike the coin is damaged or misaligned, creating unintentional marks on the coin. There are also varieties known as snow on the roof errors. In these, a die chip creates the illusion of snow or debris covering the top of the cabin. While this may sound like a small visual difference, it's exactly the kind of unique characteristic that gets collectors buzzing. Another highly prized error is the double die effect. In these coins, parts of the design, especially the lettering or the hands on the water pump, appear slightly duplicated or shadowed. These aren't scratches or damage from circulation. They're the result of a rare minting mistake, and when verified, they can dramatically increase the coin's value. But rarity doesn't end with errors. It also depends on condition. Coins in mint state condition, especially those that have been graded MS 67 or higher by a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS, can be worth exponentially more than circulated ones. These coins have never seen a cash register or the inside of a pocket. They've been carefully preserved since the day they were struck. Now imagine this: a 2015 Homestead Quarter with a documented error, no signs of wear, and flawless detail. That's the kind of coin that turns heads at auctions and makes serious collectors reach deep into their wallets. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of art, history, and numismatic rarity all wrapped into one dot. And here's the best part: you could actually find one. These coins were circulated not that long ago. They're still out there, hiding in change jars, stuck in couch cushions, or resting unnoticed in coin rolls at your local bank. So, if you've got a 2015 Homestead Quarter, don't dismiss it. Get a magnifying glass. Look at the pump, check the cabin, study the letters. That subtle detail you thought was a flaw could actually be the sign of a rare and valuable error. And if you're not sure, reach out to a trusted coin dealer or send it in to be graded. That little coin could be more than just a piece of change. It could be your golden ticket. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. If you happen to be one of the lucky few who holds a perfect or nearly perfect 2015 Homestead Quarter with a rare error variety, authenticated and graded, you might be holding a coin worth as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that right, $75,000 for one single quarter. Something that could still be sitting unnoticed in a handful of change could actually be worth more than a brand new luxury car, more than a year's salary for many people. That's the magic and mystery of coin collecting. So, go check your coins. Open that old change jar. Ask for rolls of quarters at the bank, because the next great coin find, it could be right under your nose. Top 4, we're diving deep into a coin that might look ordinary on the outside, but could be worth an astonishing amount if you know what to look for. So get ready, because this is the fascinating story of the 2004 Florida State Quarter, and why it might just be the treasure you've been holding all along. At first glance, this coin looks like just another piece of modern pocket change. It's got the words United States of America across the top, E pluribus unum on the bottom, and of course, that shiny 25-cent face value. But what lies beneath the surface of this coin is a story rich with American history, stunning design, and, in some rare cases, valuable minting mistakes that send collectors into a frenzy. Let's start with the history behind the coin. The Florida State Quarter was released in 2004 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, one of the most popular coin series ever created. Each coin in the series celebrated a different U.S. state, and Florida's design is nothing short of iconic. It captures everything the Sunshine State is known for: exploration, space travel, and the lure of the sea. On the reverse side, you'll see a beautiful design featuring a Spanish galleon sailing near the coast, a sabal palm tree swaying in the breeze, and, most impressively, a space shuttle launching into the sky. This powerful combination of imagery tells the story of Florida's past, present, and future. From the days of early European explorers searching for new worlds to the cutting-edge space launches at Cape Canaveral, Florida has always been a launchpad for bold journeys. But what makes this coin truly special isn't just the design. It's the hidden surprises, those rare minting errors and varieties that can turn a simple quarter into a collector's dream. Let's explore what you need to look out for. One of the most talked about varieties with the 2004 Florida Quarter is the extra leaf error. In this rare version, there's an additional, small mark or leaf-like feature near the palm tree fronts. This error occurred when a die used to strike the coin developed a defect or chip, causing an unintentional design element to appear. For collectors, that little leaf? It's pure gold. Another exciting error is the double die, where part of the design or lettering appears slightly duplicated or shadowed. This error happens during the minting process when the die strikes the coin more than once but slightly misaligned. Imagine seeing the space shuttle with a ghost image behind it, or the word Florida looking like it has a faint echo. These aren't flaws, they're signs of a rare and valuable mistake. There are also examples of off-center strikes, where the coin design is visibly shifted, leaving blank space on the edges. These kinds of errors are usually easy to spot, but extremely rare in this particular series. The more dramatic the off-center strike, while still showing the date and main design elements, the more valuable it becomes. Then we have the elusive clad layer missing error. In some extremely rare cases, the outer layer of the coin, which is typically nickel-coated, might be missing in certain spots. This exposes the copper core beneath and gives the coin a striking two-tone look. If you've ever seen a quarter with a weird reddish color on one side or strange texture differences, that's worth investigating. Now here's the kicker. These error coins are not just collector's novelties, they are serious investments. Coin dealers, auction houses, and private collectors will pay top dollar for these rare varieties, especially if they're in pristine or mint state condition. A coin that has never been circulated, never handled, and has been preserved with care could multiply its value 10,000-fold or more. So how can you tell if your Florida Quarter is one of these rare varieties? First, examine it under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Look closely at the tree, the ship, the shuttle, and all the fine details. Any doubling? Any strange marks or extra elements? Any signs the coin was misaligned when struck? If you see anything that looks unusual, it might be time to get it professionally graded. Because here's the grand finale, the part you've been waiting for. Among the rarest, most perfect examples of the 2004 Florida State Quarter, those with documented errors and high-grade condition, one has been known to fetch up to $73,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. $73,000. For one single quarter. A coin that could be in your change jar, sitting in your car's cup holder, or hiding in a forgotten drawer could be worth more than an entire year's salary or the down payment on a dream home. That's the thrill of numismatics. That's why collectors across the world are obsessed with checking their change, combing through rolls of quarters from the bank, and sharing discoveries with fellow enthusiasts. Because sometimes, a little coin with a big story can be the most valuable treasure of all. Top 5, we're talking about the 2004 Texas State Quarter, a coin that millions of Americans have held, spent, or saved. At first glance, it looks like just another piece of pocket change. But under the right conditions, and with the right set of unique characteristics, this quarter could be worth an absolutely stunning amount of money. So sit back, grab your favorite magnifying glass, and let's take a trip through the story, secrets, and serious value behind this powerful little coin. First, let's talk about the background. In 2004, as part of the wildly successful 50 State Quarters program, the U.S. Mint released the Texas State Quarter. This series, which ran from 1999 to 2008, was created to honor each state with a unique design representing its history and culture. For Texas, the design was nothing short of bold, just like the state itself. The reverse side of the quarter features an outline of the state of Texas, proudly occupying the center. Superimposed on that outline is a lone star, an unmistakable symbol of Texas's independent spirit and its nickname, the Lone Star State. And behind it all, a lariat rope curls around the design, representing the state's deep ranching and cowboy traditions. It's a simple, strong, and unmistakably Texan design. The coin also includes the date of statehood, 1845, and the familiar inscription, E pluribus unum. But while millions of these quarters were produced, not all were created equal. You see, coin collectors know that the real magic lies in the details. While most Texas quarters are worth just 25 cents, there are a few that contain rare errors, unique varieties, or minting anomalies. And those are the coins that can bring in serious money. So what should you be looking for? Let's start with one of the most sought-after features in the coin world, die errors. These occur when the dies that strike the coin become damaged, misaligned, or flawed during production. In the case of the Texas quarter, some collectors have discovered coins with double die errors. These coins show signs of doubling, especially in the words, numbers, or outlines of the star or state, where the design elements appear to be slightly shadowed or repeated. This happens when the die strikes the coin more than once, but slightly off position. There are also off-center strike errors, where the coin's design is visibly shifted to one side, leaving a blank crescent along the edge. These types of coins are highly desirable because each one is visually unique and unmistakably the result of a mistake at the mint. And the more dramatic the off-center error, the higher the potential value, especially if all the main details and the date are still clearly visible. Another potential jackpot comes from clipped planchet errors. This occurs when the blank metal disc used to make the coin is improperly cut, resulting in a quarter with a curved, missing section. These kinds of mint errors aren't just rare. They're fascinating to collectors who love coins that tell a story of how something went unexpectedly wrong at the mint. And let's not forget die breaks, tiny cracks in the die that leave raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Some 2004 Texas quarters have been reported with die cracks along the edge of the state or near the star, giving them a distinctive, eye-catching look. Now, even without an error, a coin's condition plays a massive role in its value. A 2004 Texas quarter in circulated condition may still only be worth face value. But if you've got one in mint state, meaning it's never been used and has no signs of wear, the value jumps significantly. Coins graded MS 65 and above by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC are already more desirable. But if you combine that with a rare error, that's when you've got something truly special. Just imagine it. A Texas state quarter with a crisp, clean strike, flawless surfaces, and a rare minting error that sets it apart from the crowd. It's not just a coin. It's a conversation piece, a slice of history, and a potential windfall all rolled into one. So what does this mean for you, the collector or curious coin checker? It means you should never ignore your change. Go through that old jar in the kitchen. Check the coins in your wallet. Look through your childhood coin collection. That plain-looking quarter might be something extraordinary. Because here's the moment you've been waiting for. Among the rarest and most pristine examples of the 2004 Texas quarter, especially those with significant mint errors and certified high grades. One such coin has been valued as high as $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. $70,000. For a quarter. A 25-cent piece that, in the right condition and with the right error, could be worth more than a luxury car or a year's salary. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not always about gold or ancient coins from centuries ago. Sometimes, it's the modern coins we overlook every day that hide the biggest surprises. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Because the next time you flip a quarter, you just might be holding a fortune in your hand. Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey through American coinage. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more treasure hunting tales, and tap that notification bell so you never miss a valuable discovery. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next coin be the one that changes everything.